Hi there, this is Anthony, and I've got another quick tip for you based on a question I received quite a lot. And the question is, why do you recommend learning to memorize a deck of cards? It's a great question, and the answer might surprise you. The answer is that it's because everything in life costs a lot. Yeah, the reason why I recommend that you memorize a deck of cards, that you learn this skill, and that you actually practice this skill is because of the cost of things in life. Everything costs time, money, and energy, and that's everything. And I'll explain a little bit exactly why everything costs time, money, and energy in a moment. And in all of this, memory improvement is included. It always costs time, memory, and energy. So, not having great memory abilities is a very, very painful thing for so many people because of the costs. It costs you the career of your dreams. It costs you self-respect and the respect of others, and it costs you frustration when you can't recall even the simplest of things. And so the career that you can't get because of your memory is a cost. And the energy that you lose from having frustration over your memory problems is a cost. And the self-respect that you lose drains your energy. But when you feel good about yourself and you feel good because you're respected by others, then you get energy. So these are the costs of not having a trained memory. And in order to reduce the cost of memory improvement, you need to do certain things. You need to write down your memory goals. And this is beautiful because it costs energy to do this, and it costs time to do it, and of course it costs a bit of money because you need to get a pen or a pencil and some paper to write down, or maybe you're going to write them down on a computer, which also costs money, and then you got the electricity, and even if you go to the library, you got to pay taxes for the library to exist, and so there's always a cost involved. Now, this isn't to push things to the extreme, but it's important to consider, and it will help free up your memory. And when you start thinking about these things, it will improve your life in many, many different ways. The second thing to do is to learn how to memorize a deck of cards. It's not that difficult. It's a lot of fun, and you can make it even more fun by getting an attractive deck, getting one that literally looks good and feels good in your hand, and it's one that you will proudly carry with you everywhere that you go. And then you make up for lost time by memorizing cards. And you do that while you're sitting in the waiting room, the dentist, the doctor, maybe you are going to see a consultant about anything, and you're just sitting there and waiting. And people might look at you weird, but who cares? People look at you weird no matter what you're doing. You sneeze and people look at you weird, or whatever. I mean, we're just weird people. We're always doing something weird, and people are always looking at us weird, and we're sometimes thinking that they're weird for looking at us, and it's just crazy. So you could be doing something with that time instead of sitting and basking in the weirdness. You can do it while you're riding the bus, and you can even memorize cards when you're binge watching series. So I was watching Prison Break. I just finished this series. It's so amazing, and I was memorizing cards and recalling cards, and it's kind of cool because I'm practicing my memory while that I'm being distracted by a series, and I'm being distracted by the series while I'm practicing my memory, and it's really interesting, and it makes my memory stronger. So then you want to practice recalling the cards, which I basically just said you can do that also in the doctor's office or on the bus or while you're watching a series. And you also want to practice memorizing and recalling cards in quiet situations. And you want to also do it in front of people sometimes, because that gives you the sense of stress and the sense of performance and the consequence of being embarrassed. And you start in stages. You memorize the cards and you recall them in front of your dog. Or you don't have to memorize them in front of people necessarily, but you recall them in front of people to show what you're doing. And this gives you this confidence, but you start with low stress. You start with your dog and your fish or your cat or whatever you have, a lizard, snake, the pets that people have never cease to amaze me, and you start there low stress, and then you tell your family member, you just say, look, I want to work on this, I want to get really good at it, and I need to practice in front of you. I might make a mistake. I don't want to get all stressed out about it, so expect that there may be some mistakes. I might struggle a little bit, but they'll understand, and they won't make it stressful for you, and that will build up your confidence. And that directly applies to memorizing anything and memorizing the information that counts for exams and tests, and so you build up your strength. And so this is very, very important. And this will help you memorize other information faster and with greater accuracy. It really, really does. It's like doing push-ups. It really strengthens your body, and not just your arms, and not just your belly, and not just your legs, the way that push-ups do, but everything. So it helps increase your memory, but it helps increase your imagination, your ability to think quickly, your ability to recall quickly, and it also gives you structural improvements in terms of how you conceive of space and how you imagine your way around your imagination, and it's just really, really amazing. So you really should do this. Just do it. It's awesome. And it will save you time and energy, because when you can memorize information much more quickly and with greater accuracy, then you're going to be able to save time and energy, because you don't have to study for as long, you don't have to spend as much time studying, and you reduce the stress. And stress is extremely costly in terms of energy, and you lose time when you're stressed out. And so what you can then do is use your advanced memory skills that you get from practicing card deck memorization to get out there and make more money. And so this is amazing. And you put all these things together, and you're going to have a much, much better life, and you're going to achieve your goals at a much higher level than you would otherwise. And so that is a great thing. So I hope this quick tip serves you, and that you'll get out there and learn how to memorize a deck of cards and start practicing it in the ways that I've recommended. Now, before I go, I just want to give you a little bit of info about the Magnetic Memory Live in London event that's coming, and I've got a question about it that kind of relates to the theme we've just been talking about. It's kind of a long question, so let's go through it. Why is it so expensive? And the way that the question was worded, it goes like this. I'm sure you would keep it very genuine, but the cost will be a factor here. Video trainings are cheaper compared to live, but if it is more like a seminar, I'm sure it will cost you more, and in effect will cost the people more. I'm pretty certain that you have more lower middle class family people as your subscribers than the rich guys who don't look at the right side of the menu. I know these are more of the third world problems, but I just thought to share my views, as I know and respect the fact that you pretty much read all emails. Well, I do read all emails, and I really enjoy receiving emails, and I love answering emails. So thank you for sending me your concerns. This is a very important thing to think about. And the reality is, I don't want you to get me wrong. There might be some rich guys there who have no problem paying the registration fee. That is most likely to happen. And hopefully it's not just guys, because these memory events are so populated with men all the time, and women need better memory skills too. So, don't be shy. And whether you're rich or poor is not the issue. The price isn't to attract rich people, and it isn't to make it impossible for anyone to come. It's to cover the costs and reflect the extraordinary value of the experience. And that's all that it's about. And so not only will your memory improve at this live event, but you'll make lifelong friendships with like-minded people who share similar goals. You'll also make new business partners if you are in business, and maybe even start a business of your own if you're not already an entrepreneur, because you're going to get the ideas from the people who are self-employed. And it just is amazing what can happen when you network with people and you have a shared interest, and that interest is about improving yourself, and that interest is totally directly connected to a practice in which you then help others improve themselves, because you really don't learn just how powerful improving your memory can be until you've taught someone else how to do it. And that's when things really start taking off. And so you'll be hanging out with me to talk about all these things, which, is not going to happen every day because I'm in Berlin, and, people ask me if I'm going to be here, there, and the other place, and let's get together for dinner and have a chat and so forth, and that's great. But here's the chance to really, really hang out, and we're going to have fun in the breaks and so forth, but we're going to go through everything in detail, and it's going to be awesome. So the most important thing about all that, though, if all the fun aside of hanging out, is that you're going to take action. You will take action. And you will get 8 weeks of follow-up email training to make sure that you keep taking action, because we're going to do a lot of exercises together, and they're going to be implemented. And I'm going to make sure you implement them, because this is an exclusive set of email follow-up, and there's going to be videos and so forth and audios that come with those emails, so it's not just text-based, and they're going to help make sure that you keep on going, and that's very, very valuable. The best part is that when you use the techniques that I teach, Magnetic Memory Live in London will cost you nothing. Why? Well, it's because a better memory equals more wealth. So the techniques that you're going to learn, the methods you're going to learn, the ability to create your own memory systems and memorize anything that you want is going to directly lead, if you implement all of this, and only if you implement all this, to more wealth. So in effect, you are going to get Magnetic Memory Live for free. And for the people who attend, it's going to be one of the most powerful implementation boot camps they'll ever experience. And as you could tell, I'm incredibly excited about the event. And I think you need to be there. And I think you know that you need to be there. And so if you haven't already booked your ticket, now would be a good time to do it. Ticket prices are going to go up as we get nearer to the event, and the event will sell out. So if you'd like to attend, click on the link below, and thank you as ever. I look forward to seeing you soon.
You've been very inspiring for me to listen to and to follow so far, and I'm so grateful for having found you and the work that you do. There's so much information out there about learning and about memory, and I remember the first video that I heard from you on YouTube. I think it was like 30 minutes long. I knew that you were my guy, that you were the one that for me to learn from. Gosh, I've pored over books, I've watched videos. I have never come across anyone else that goes into the detail that you do in breaking it down and actually teaching how this works. So that's what you're doing. I mean, at least to me, is groundbreaking. I mean, it's new, and I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be a part of it.